What's up, teammates? What? Again? Yeah, back again. I realized that I always try to keep whatever I think in the day for tonight, and then I'll write it down on a book, and then I try to address it all when I do a show. And, I thought that way I'd get people, to watch the show, I guess. I just thought that was a better format, so I can bring it all to you. And I didn't want to, say stuff every day all the damn time. But I figure, well, let's try a different format. Because, Wi-Fi Willie puts out like five. No, not Wi-Fi Willie. I have no respect for him. Ready D. Well, not no respect. Wi-Fi does a good show for himself. But anyway, I was talking about Ready D. He's the one that puts out stuff like every 5 to 10 seconds. So I was like, well, and I get to get my ideas out there more quickly. I don't forget the ones that I didn't write down and thought about, and get it to you in shorter clips. Maybe you like it better that way. With that being said, what I want to talk about that I've been thinking about is offensive coordinator and coach. And quarterback, and why those two, or what makes those two succeed as a couple. And what I was thinking about when I was talking about Getsky handcuffing Minshew and Minshew handcuffing Getsky, I it was the navigator, I believe, said something about it, how he thought it was an interesting line. Made me think about it a little more. And I was thinking, how does that actually work? How could I say this statement so it makes sense, so it actually comes out as not just a statement but as a thought. So what I came to with is a quarterback has to execute for the offensive coordinator. An offensive coordinator has to draw up a good play for the situation. And those two things have to intertwine. And that's the problem. As a quarterback, Minshew has to be good at multiple things and better at a lot of different things so that you can be a functional quarterback. You can't be a functional quarterback if you can only make half the plays that you get sent in, right? You have to be able to execute 70-80% of the plays to be to be a decent quarterback, 70 to be good, and then executing the 90 percentile is where, great quarterbacks come back, which that comes in execution. But there's also the planning, and that's where the offensive coordinator comes in. Because it doesn't matter how well you execute a bad play, right? If you call for a run out of the shotgun and the defense is ready for it because they don't respect your pass game, and they're like, if he runs from 5 yards back, I'm sure our linebacker's only 5 yards back from our line of scrimmage too, so they'll meet him right here. So a bad play call is going to hinder the quarterback no matter what. So how does that work? It has to be an overlap. And that's why Gatsky and Minshew can't work together, because there's not enough room for overlap. What I mean is, uh, Minshew makes maybe 40, 60% of the plays, and then Gatsky calls the right play maybe 50% of the time. So now we're looking at a gap, okay? And that gap is terrible plays. That gap is turnovers, okay? And then if you can get that overlap, if you can get into the 30% where Minshew won't fuck it up and the 50% where Getsky won't fuck it up, that's how you get a good play. The problem is that the overlap is too different, and you got to stack it and you got to hope for the shit to happen. But when you have a coach like the Andy Reid and a quarterback like Patrick Mahomes who can execute the play 80% of the time, and Andy Reid is the coach who can call the right play 70-80% of the time, this are the numbers, the overlap is great. And that overlap is where perfect plays come in, or where the right calls come in at the right time for the quarterback to execute and for the offensive coordinator to put in that situation. And when your time and your percentages and that overlap is so small, your overlap is so far away, there's going to be nothing but turmoil. And that's what I mean by Getsky holds back Minshew, and Minshew holds back Getsky because Getsky throws in a fucked up play that Minshew probably couldn't execute anyway. And if Minshew finally finds a way to execute the play didn't even work anyway. He just did a screen pass that Minshew did correctly, but who the hell was going to vie the screen pass at that point because it was the wrong play to call? So what we have to do is find a coordinator who does what he's supposed to do 70% of the time, and we need a daggone quarterback who can execute the plays 70% of the time and will become a decent offense. And we grow from there to become better and great. And we were terrible, and that overlap or that lack thereof is the proof of the pudding of why we can't get it done with Getsky and Minshew. Hopefully, the numbers change with this quarterback and with this offensive coordinator. They figure out a way to get the right call that the quarterback can execute correctly, and will have more plays that are beneficial and not the gap that leads to freaking turnovers. Okay, so that's my synopsis on that. Uh, it's not really about winning or losing on this one, but there is a silver lining. Silver lining is there's a chance that we can get some overlaps and not them gaps. Who knows? We care, and we're looking forward to it. So it could work. It could not. We could win. We could not. It doesn't matter because you can't win them all. And the clouds get dark. But when you're looking for the bright side, come to the silver lining. Guru out.